Coach Gilmore, Peter Pujals. Coach, make an opening statement, then we'll take questions. Can do any follow-ups afterwards? Coach?
First, Harvard played a great game. They started strong, and I felt we did a good job of bouncing back and taking control of the game for the rest of the first half, and then into the third quarter, when we started turning the ball over. And obviously, when you put the ball on the ground, you're going to struggle. And they took advantage of those opportunities and scored points, and pulled away from us, and we weren't able to get back. We continued to make some errors. We had some penalties on top of the turnover, so it made it real tough against a good Harvard team. Thought they played a great game, and we did a lot of good things, but we can't make the mistakes that we're making and hope to beat a good team.
Tom, obviously, like you said, the fumbles were killers. Is ball security becoming a concern for you because of the sixth loss?
I mean, it's always a concern. It's something that we work on every day in practice. Certainly really spent a lot of time early in the week in practice on it. And, it's something that, we've seemed to have trouble at times. Other times we've been good. So certainly I'm concerned after what we just did that way, but I don't think it's something that we can't fix at the same time.
Tom, a couple weeks ago it was Herb Walker that tore you guys up rushing. Tonight it's Andrew Caston. Is your rushing defense a concern for you now?
It's always a concern. I mean, we've been up and down. We started the season out with a real good rushing defense performance, and we were good at times today. I think when Harvard, got a little bit of control of the game, it gave them a little more flexibility. They caught us in a couple of things at times. That's probably more on us as coaches, but at the same time, they did a good job. They have a real good package and good players, and they made us pay for our mistakes. But yes, I mean the rushing defense, when you give up those kind of yardage plays, the big plays, the explosive plays, it was something that I remember talking early in the week. What was the key to the game? And certainly explosive plays I felt were going to be real big, and they certainly were.
Peter, you had the two long drives in the first half and another nice one early in the third, and then after that, you just couldn't get anything going because the turnovers contributed. But what were they doing that prevented you guys from sustaining anything?
They weren't really doing anything much different, really. Like Coach said, when you're playing a good team, you can't shoot yourself in the foot and give them the ball. That's what we did. And that and some penalties and some poor decisions in certain situations. They kind of a bend over break kind of defense, and they did that well, and we just weren't able to capitalize. And we just can't do the ball. And we need to get better at that. But we're going to bounce back and we'll be ready for next week.
Peter, Harvard entered the game with a relatively inexperienced secondary. Was part of your game plan at all to kind of exploit them to the air and attack them that way?
We're going to try at some points with our speed. They were bailing a lot. I think they respected the speed on the outside that we had. It was an emphasis. We wanted to be able to run the ball too, but it was an emphasis. We were able to pass it well at times, but again, we would have drive and we wouldn't score one time again. We came out with a field goal in the first half and then just turn the ball over. And that's pretty much what it comes down to. You just can't give them the ball.
Tom, you had Hempel only play one series in the first half, and they had a third string tailback, Caston, playing because Stanton's out. And you weren't able to only two late field goals to make it 14-12. You look at that as a missed opportunity. You should have been ahead, given how many plays you ran the first half of the year and 62 through three quarters.
Yeah, I mean, we did miss some opportunities. They're a good team, though. I mean, the one thing I've always said, they not only their starting units are good, but they have some very good backups, in their program. So they're talented and deep, and that's something that we've talked about for years. They've done a great job of recruiting and putting good players on the field. I mean, it's a concern, but I think a lot of these things also are things that we're doing wrong. Harvard's making plays, but we're certainly not executing at the level that we can and should. And I think sometimes when the chips are down, you have to keep your poise and make plays. And sometimes we're pressing and trying to do things that we shouldn't, and results in negative plays for us. So, as we mature too, we're going to do a better job of doing that moving forward. And I think a lot of lessons were learned out there for us tonight.
Coach, going up against an inexperienced secondary, I'm curious just how you prepare for that, without a lot of those guys having any snaps, and then I'm curious what they showed you, how that compared to what you were expecting with the secondary looks.
Peter answered that earlier. I really don't. You prepare for the scheme. We weren't familiar with all of their players, but you prepare for the scheme and you try to get the best looks you can. Obviously it's going to be a little bit different depending on who they actually have playing in the game. But we prepared for their schemes, and like Peter said, it wasn't like they surprised us with what they were doing. They just executed a lot better than us.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.